Hello, and welcome to the 4th episode of our podcast. Still no name, right?
Still no name.
I love it. So it's the No Name Podcast. So now it's the 4th episode. Yep. Wawa, tell the people what's on the agenda today.
On the agenda, we have... No, I memorized it. So we're going to talk about graduations. As you know, this is the season for graduation. Wow. Yep. We're also going to talk just a little bit about one event that's happening this weekend in Washington, D.C.
I'm excited about that one.
Elsa Poetry Festival for the weekend from this guy named Lee. DJ Super Lee. This guy is one of the major doors that open a lot of doors for many artists out there through.
Including
me too.
Oh yeah.
Did that through his planning, his promoting skills, his DJing. Mm-hmm. He created a lot of parties, a lot of avenues for people to present their work, to perform, and it's just beautiful. And so, but he's been doing it in New York City, then I think New York City or upstate, but also in Washington D.C. area, DMV. And be doing this for 15 years. This is the 15-year anniversary. And so it's the all-star deaf coda hearing community coming in, and we're going to just show out.
It's man,
I can't wait.
Tell the people who's going to be there.
All right. You have Sean Forbes. You have yours truly. You have Coda. Will be Dakota. You have Show Rock, Keith Brown. You have Beautifully the Artist. You have Death Star. We have New. And there's so many other people coming out there to perform. So it's like going to be mind-blowing.
Electric.
Everyone is so excited about the whole thing. Yeah. Everyone is so excited. And so Lee has been doing this for such a long time. And
hey, I'm curious. What was the first DJ Super Lee event you attended?
Oh, when I was involved with the dance company called the Wild Zappers. Yeah. And so we was performing. We were already performing. And then he asked us to come to his event, which was in Rochester, New York, for an event there. And Wild Zapper was the first time performing there.
Were you
you're talking about more than 20 years ago, the first time when we were performing there. And it was that event and was packed. I didn't even know who this guy was. He said, yeah, I'm Lee. You know, he was sounding very English at that time. My name is Lee. And I'm the DJ.
He definitely has his signing style. I love it.
And his voice accent. I'm the DJ, brother. I got you. Yeah. So what I want you to do, you do your thing, right? And then I do my thing. And you come out there, the show, perform for the people out there, make them feel good, have a good time, drink. You got this. You understand? I just love the way how you flow with this. I'm like,
that's Super Lee.
OG, yes.
It's definitely an OG. I mean, the reason I ask you what year is because I remember attending Superfest as a student at NTID. I remember going with my girlfriend. My girlfriend disappeared. I was dancing with another guy, and I was lonely. I didn't end up with her, but, that event definitely showed me that deaf people love music. So Leah's, like you said, opened the door for many people, including myself. In my early days, she gave me opportunities to get up and perform my songs, especially songs I just wrote. I always like to try out new songs in front of audiences.
Yeah.
So this Friday will be no different. I will be performing a new song that's never been released. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm proud of him. I mean, he works so hard to provide access, to provide uplifting for the community.
Experiences.
Yeah. I mean,
opportunities to network, be together with people who are alike and who have shared interests.
I think I can say he was the first recruiter for stardom. Who's out there who has the skills, 100%. Get there, open the door, give you an opportunity to show your work. And then he actually would use you again and again for other events that he had, because he knows your work, he sees your work, and then that's how your reputation just started to shine because of that. So he's one of the few people who started this stuff, and man, and he did it from the heart. He did it from the heart. I'm like, 100%. Wow.
So we're looking forward to this weekend. We will definitely update the people next week after the whole experience. And me personally, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in person. I love chatting with you every week, almost every day too. But see you in person with other people, I just know it's going to be a lot of fun.
A reunion. After we go back, yo, what's up? We'll be like those two little toddlers running to each other. You like that? Yeah.
Definitely. So right now is graduation season. Yes. Class of 2024. We have high school graduates. We have college graduates. We have 5th and 8th grade graduations as well. A lot of graduations going on. A lot of parties going on. I know you have a lot of graduation things going on in your life right now. So tell us about that.
Well, my queen, she graduated from college. And so she worked so long and so hard on this. So it's full-time working, different kinds of jobs she was doing, but it was full-time mom. Yeah, she was doing all that. And I'm like, wow. So, and it was online. So, online classes can be insane. All this reading, writing too. So
I remember being in the hotel room in Kentucky when we went to Kentucky last year.
Oh, yes.
And Kimmy she was working on her paper.
Yeah, and sometimes when I'm traveling to perform, and so I would help her, with correcting or working with her paper. So a few times, my DJ Nikar Champ, he already knew what was going on. So one time I'm on the stage like right here, okay? I'm about ready to get to perform. The people was doing the introduction to stuff. I get a ping. I need you to correct this right now. I'm like, I'm about ready to go on the stage right now. So Nicole's like, Kimmy. She said, I need it now before 11:59. I'm like, what's up, beautiful people? It's amazing. But the journey she went through, all the ups and downs, the pulling hair, the stress and everything, and she handled it all. She didn't give up. She felt like she wanted to, but she just didn't, because she knew. She saw the end is coming, that degree is coming. That was it. So proud of her. So that graduation we went to, I've never attended a graduation. Most of the time, graduation would be like one day, few hours. This one was 3 days. 3 days. So the first day they had the major graduations. So because for her university, there was a lot of records that was happening there. So for her major, with the largest class of 600 people, okay? Then you have the general for everybody, and online and in person, and that was 66,000 people who graduated. So
66,000 people graduating?
It was big, and we were, what? Wait, how? What? The football stadium where the graduation was, it was packed. And just the march in alone took 1 hour for all of them to get in. An hour. And we were like, everyone standing up, getting freezing cold. It was cold that day. It was freezing. All that kind of stuff. And we sat down, but it was great. So I remember we were there maybe like at 3 o'clock, but they suggested it because there was a lot of people coming in. So, and I think the graduation started about 6:30 or something, and it ended at 9 o'clock. So my family and I were there since 3 to like 9. So it was cold and everything, but it was great. then the third day, we didn't have to go. She did her 2 things. The third day, they had more majors graduating. And so it was amazing. So it was 3 days, and that was the largest ever. And we were like blown away. So over the weekend, we just had celebration for her graduation with her Ladies Bible group, and awesome queens out there gave support. So we enjoyed it, just had a good time. So she had a blast. So she's done. She's happy, and it's amazing. And then, for all you people who graduate this year, class of 2024, congratulations. You're free.
I don't know about that. I don't think the 5th, 8th, 12th, and
it's getting there. It's getting there.
College graduates, not all 100% done. I mean, believe me, when I was done, I was done. I never wanted to go back to school. But every once in a while, I do think about going back to school and becoming a lawyer.
You could do that. I'd rather counsel people.
I will counsel people as a lawyer. I'd be like, as a lawyer, I would not advise you to do that. But, it's up to you.
Yeah, I have been, once in a while, I've been thinking about it. Well, as of recent, more often now, but still not sure if I want to do the online kind of thing. But it's for family and marriage counseling. That's what I love doing. I've been helping many people relating with those two for a long time. And so, do I want to go online for this?
Big sacrifice, I mean, I'm married to a college professor, so I get it. The amount of work that goes into getting the education, to making sure your students are getting the resources they need and the support they need to be able to, do their schoolwork, to be able to succeed as a student. And I know that, I personally see it all the time. So, yeah.
Commitment.
I can't imagine that sacrifice. Hats off to Kenny, truly, because, being a wife, a mother, working, going to school, hats off. Congratulations.
Super mom. Definitely.
Super mom, super wife, too. True.
It's amazing.
True.
So, you gave, have you ever done, presenting at a graduation?
Yeah, so last weekend I know I posted a short thing on Facebook and Instagram about me giving a high school commencement speech.
Okay.
So a few months ago, I got contacted by my parents' neighbors. So my parents live in a small town up north, and that small town has been a big part of my entire life. So they asked me, would you be interested in giving a high school commencement speech to the senior class this year? And at first I was like, I was a little bit taken aback because I'm so accustomed to giving presentations to deaf and hard of hearing students. I've done several deaf and hard of hearing high school graduation commencement speeches. So I'm accustomed to that. So to be in a school with no deaf or hard of hearing students, all hearing in a small town in northern Michigan, and not only that, my grandfather, who passed away a few years ago, graduated from that high school.
Wow.
After serving in World War II. So it had a lot of personal, sentiments to giving that high school commencement speech. Yeah. So last Friday, I go there, I show up for sound check, I do my sound check, and I'm telling you, this auditorium is gorgeous. I mean, I wasn't sure what I was walking into, but it was gorgeous. And, I attended it with my parents. My parents live there, so we all went together and saw a lot of people that I've known, because a lot of the students there have also been in touch with my parents, been in touch with me, because there's several students who are interested in going into audio engineering, different things like that. One girl that graduated, was one of the valedictorians, is going to play Division I basketball at University of Wisconsin. Oh, beautiful girl, really sweet. So yeah, when it came time to give the presentation, let me tell you, people, I never write anything down. Every speech I've ever given has always been straight from the heart. You know, I feel like that's the best way to do it. I mean, you have to build the confidence to be able to do that because, for many people, I get it. It's nerve-wracking when you got to get up on the stage in front of, that room was full, bro. There were only 75 graduates, senior graduates, small town, Okay. So the whole gym was packed. So my time for presentation, I get up and I just start talking about believing in yourself. I mean, I think that's one of the most important things is believing in yourself, believing in your capabilities. True. I told my story about being deaf and people kind of being like, well, you're deaf, you're trying to go into music. But for me, it was just the best way to show that you can truly do something. If I can go into music as a deaf person, what's stopping you from chasing your dreams? Right. But anyways, I'm in the middle of giving the speech and my dad. I love my dad. I love my dad. My dad always wants to make sure that the shows are perfect, that everything sounds good. And he has a penchant for sometimes doing things that are very distracting. I'm in the middle of telling a story and I'm like, what is my dad doing? He looks like an orchestra conductor or something. I'm like, what is he doing? And I'm trying to give the speech. I'm telling a story, and I'll admit that I was just talking, and in my brain, I was like, what does my dad want? What is he doing? He's like, and I'm like, so in the middle of my presentation, I was like, I started to think that my dad was saying something about the sound, turn up the computer or turn up the mic or something. So I was like, I looked at the sound guy. I was like, I think my dad's trying to communicate with you. And the whole audience started laughing. I was like, what is he doing? So then I tried to get back onto my speech. And, I wrote through it. I made it through, but oh my gosh. After it, I went up to my dad. I was like, what were you doing? He was like, I was trying to talk to the sound guy, but I realized that obviously it's very distracting. I'm like, yeah? Very distracting. I mean, after I was done, I was worried that people were maybe distracted by my dad doing it, but people loved it. They said that this was awesome. They really enjoyed it. I performed 2 songs as well. I performed a song called Claim to Fame. It's basically telling people they have something to offer in this world. And then the second one was Little Victories, which I have to do that one.
That's awesome. Fun. I mean, doing something like that, it means wow. You're passing the torch to these newly graduate, new journey for them. So I was able to, I don't really write when I was asked for commencement. I don't write. Everything comes from the heart as well. And it's authentic. It's true. You are living experience. You are a living person who has spent this journey. And you're like, okay, what I spent may be different for you, but the concept may be similar. You will face ups. You will face downs. You will face some challenges. You will face some things that's really successful. But it's how you respond to these things. Positive, negative, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's how you respond to it. And so that develops your character, develops you. And that's all about a learning experience. So you passing that down to them, you will face this thing. Especially for high school students, I like to tell them, guess what? You're on your own. And when I say that, they be like, Mom and Dad, sometimes you see some parents going, or something. No, I got you. It's just everybody. But yeah, getting presentation at graduation is fun. And it can be nerve-wracking sometimes. Like, okay.
I mean, especially I'm like, how am I as a deaf person going to resonate with this audience? And one of the cool things was I opened up my speech. I said, let's give a round of applause for the graduates for the class of 2024. Mm-hmm. And everybody was like, and I said, no. We're going to do it deaf style. And then I taught them this. The whole room.
Wow.
The whole room. I mean, I got goosebumps at that point. It was a good way to open up the speech for people to recognize and to learn something and to make me feel welcome as well,
That's cool.
So you always try to find that commonality because, I was a high school graduate. You were a high school graduate before. I remember what it was like being in the sheets. I mean, obviously, number one, I didn't want to sit through graduation. I wanted to, get through it, but I was excited for the next chapter of my life.
Oh, I was ready for the diploma for mine. I just wanted, thank you. I'm done. That's it. For my high school, yeah. For the college graduation, I was actually like, okay, pinching myself. This really happening? I finished college? Wow. I think for me, because growing up in Philadelphia.
The first people?
I was the first people in my family to graduate from college. So, and male, so for that, it was like, wow.
It's a big deal.
It was a big deal for the family to see finally someone within the family got in college and graduate. Great. I mean, I have other cousins who had done the same thing, but I was one of the first. And so it was a big deal. And I'm the only deaf. So that was even bigger deal. So that was like a low on me, like people watching.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to prove you wrong. You didn't think I could make it. Some of them thought, college, not for you. It's okay. If you want to work, it's fine. They weren't negative. It was just because of my deafness. While others was like, you can do this. You can do this. Let's go. Just work hard, push on. So I had to take it upon myself to realize, okay, I have to do this because I have to deal with this. So go. So at that graduation, it was surreal. And I had the president come to my graduation that time too. So that was, yeah. I asked him to come to the graduation. President Clinton.
Which Clinton?
1994, I graduated. So I asked him, because we was at an event in Howard University. And we were doing for Martin Luther King. I can't spell today. I don't know why I'm getting nervous about this. I'm not giving a presentation right now. So,
but he can't spell either.
That's another thing for another time. Okay. So yeah, there was an event that was happening at Howard University, and I was asked to represent all of the colleges and universities in Washington, D.C. for Martin Luther King. It happened, President Clinton, former president, was there. And so was talking and everything, and I gave my presentation, and he was so impressed, and he gave his presentation, and then I was called to come to the back behind the stage, and I was asked to go to the White House for the reception. And I was, what?
Really?
So my interpreter was with me at that time, and then there was other seniors and juniors who was there from deaf, and they were all their students. And it was like, I was asked to go to the reception at the White House. They said, oh, why not you do this? We was brainstorming ideas. Someone said, oh, why don't you ask the president to come to our graduation? Okay, fine. All that kind of, I remember getting to the White House, they checking me out, my IDs, everything, and I'm like, whoa, this is it. So I got a chance to meet the family. I even met the cat. Can you imagine?
What?
I met their cat. The cat just somehow got out. And I met the cat. And that was so cool. So when...
What was the cat's name? Was it like Socks or something? Socks?
Socks? Maybe. I don't remember. But came in.
And that's deep in the archives.
Yeah. So that's really deep. and so at that time, I mean, met Clinton. I mean, he was tall. His hand was big. I mean, his hand was so big that he can take 2 fingers and wrap my face. I mean, that's how big it was. I was like, I mean, he had his whole hand. I was like, wow. Really nice talking with him and everything. And a good conversation. So I got nervous stuff. I decided to ask, you know, I'm graduating this year from Gallaudet University. I introduced my name, everything, my major and all. And we would like to invite you to come to, you know, to Gallaudet University graduation. Now, remember, he said, I can't promise, but when it's the date and everything. But the person next to him was already taking notes, already. And I was like, okay, fine. So that was February.
Like that. Can you write that down right now, please?
Thank you. That'd be nice. So, and it was people was like feeding him information. It was like constant. I was like, one person was taking notes, other person was feeding him information. I was like, well, who's saying what? Who's what? You know, that was interesting.
It's like the angel.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. So then that February, the next thing you know, April rolls in, and then I got called to the Capitol. And I met with the president again. I was talking out there. And he was asking me questions about deaf culture and everything. And I said, I am not the best representative of deaf culture. But I can tell you what I know, what I've been through and all that. So I just wanted to say hi again. That's all I know. I didn't know. So, and then that's when he told me, we're coming to your graduation. And I nearly fell. Wow. And so, cool. Yeah, the whole system of Gallaudet was changed. They changed a lot of things. I mean, Secret Service was there, was walking around. But people at Gallaudet University just overlooked the whole, they didn't know. But I noticed because I was around them. I mean, I was like, oh. It was like, okay, fine. You know, it was interesting. Oh, it was heavy. So, and you know how sometimes during graduation, they seat you by your last name. My last name is S, so I thought I was going to be in the back, but I was in the front. And there was a lady who was graduating who was also from the same state, Arkansas, with him. And she was the only one who was from Arkansas who was graduating. So she put her in the front too. So we sat in the front. I'm like, whoa. So I remember when he popped up and I'm looking at him, I'm waving at him. He's going, wait a minute. So, I was geeking. I was so excited.
Amazing. I had no
idea. It was
idea.
a rich experience. So yeah, that was it.
Clinton was always one of those presidents where me and my dad would talk about. Like, we always wanted to go to a bar with him and just chat with him, you know, just go to a jazz bar, have a drink, and then I'd get up and play a saxophone.
He was really down to earth, but I was the one who was like, this is the president of USA. I shook his hand. I spoke with him. Wow. What am I supposed to say now?
You were talking about college graduations. I have a little regret. My parents would be happy to hear that I regret this, but life is can be a little ironic sometimes.
Yeah.
So I graduated from NTID, RT, and decided not to go to my graduation. Why? Well, first of all, I quit school to set up DPN. I had the opportunity of a lifetime, and it's what I always wanted, to get my foot in the door of the music industry and to work with people who are in that industry. So I quit school in 2006 with about 4 classes left to get my bachelor's degree. And, you know, my parents, my future wife, they were all like, what's wrong with you? Like, you need to finish your degree. You only have 4 classes. So I eventually went back to school. I took 4 classes online and I finished, and I was supposed to graduate, you know, that May, June, whatever. And I decided that I didn't want to go. And my parents were like, why? I'm like, I feel like I'm good, you know. I always never liked sitting through graduation, but the irony, I went to graduation for my future sister-in-law. And, I attended with my future wife. And while I was there, I'm looking at the book. My name is right there. I attended my graduation, but I didn't walk. Yeah.
That's ironic.
But I was like, this is so stupid. Like, I'm here. I'm physically at the graduation, but I didn't walk.
But did you know you were supposed to graduate that year?
Yeah. But I told them that I wasn't attending, or maybe I didn't tell them. But I was there, but I didn't walk.
Wow.
So my parents were always upset over that we never had that official. But I'm gonna put this out there. RIT. If you want to give me a doctorate's degree, my parents will come. I will walk on the stage. I think Gallaudet should give you one too.
Oh,
yeah.
I would love to have an honorary PhD degree.
An honorary PhD from RIT.
Yeah.
And you from Gallaudet or wherever. And it would be a beautiful thing.
We love our alma mater. We're really there. 100%. Yeah. So, I mean, they help develop us.
I'm happy that your son is at my alma mater.
Yeah. He and I had a talk about that, but I'm really grateful that he has NTID. I wanted him at Gallaudet, to see what happened. But when we went up to NTID, we realized, for him, yes, it was the best deal.
Both are great schools. Both have different things to offer, but for those who are high school graduates who might be going to Gallaudet or NTID this fall, I'm excited for you all. I mean, it's a new chapter in your life when you graduate, whether you're going to a new school or you're going to start a career. But that's another thing I would love to talk about, is that college is not always the answer.
Right, that's true.
Like, some people are a perfect fit for trade school. I mean, I admit, like, sometimes I'll meet a plumber or an electrician or someone who does HVAC work. And they have a boat, they have a nice, like, second house. I'm like, and they never went to college. So really, it's all about what kind of life you want. College is great. I had the greatest times of my life. I met some lifelong friendships. Made some lifelong friendships. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world from my experience. The only thing is I wish I walked to really honor my 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. Because I never wanted the party to end. It was the first time in my life that I was with other deaf people that were alike.
I think it's
going from high school with 40 deaf and hard of hearing to a college with 2,000, it's a big difference.
You learn as you go. The journey I had, I was in the mainstream school. I was the only deaf person in my school, but I call it mainstream because deaf. That's it. And then I learned sign when I came to Gallaudet University. And so that journey of learning deaf culture from the hearing culture, the transition was like, whoa, from this to this, I am in both worlds, and then find out my identity. Who am I? I'm deaf. Am I hard of hearing? Am I hearing or what? What am I? So Gallaudet University was like a second birth for me, and it just opened up so many doors that I learned so much about deaf culture and everything. And I realized this is what I was missing all my life. I mean, I was grateful for growing up in hearing environment, all the things that I learned. But I was always the last person to know what's going on or ignored or oppressed or all that kind of stuff. So you had a positive, negative there. But in the deaf community, you also have the positive, negative there too. But it was, for me, I get it. I'm not the last person to know anymore. I'm like, okay, I'm on the same page. I have the news. The access was there. That's it. So when you navigate in the world, so when you graduate, you start seeing what to do. Yeah, it's how you react, how you grow, develop yourself on it. Trade school, wow, coming back big time.
Big time.
And it, yeah. You're right. College is not always the answer. Some people are not really fit for college. Some people are fit for trade school. Some people are fit for just military. All those things. So there's a lot of avenues or decisions you want to take, but it applies to you. You have to deal with this, not anybody else, just you. That decision you made, that's something you have to go through it. But yeah, I always tell people, travel. Look out the world. This world is amazing as well as it's crazy. But you learn so much. It develops who you are. And
I mean, you have to do something that you're passionate about too. Yeah. Because if you go into a field that you're not passionate about, you're not going to be passionate about it for the rest of your life.
Right.
But, I mean, for me, when I went there, I was still discovering my identity. I mean, it's an interesting thing that you bring up because when I went there, I felt like I had a realization in high school that I was going to be deaf for the rest of my life. And there was nothing I could change about that. There was nothing that I could do about it. So that was the first step, was accepting myself as a deaf person, because for a long time I struggled with that. I wanted to go into music, but there was a barrier there, an artificial barrier, I should say. And I always knew I wanted to do something with that, but I also needed a plan B. But I also kind of shaped my plan B around my plan A. So I went to RIT to further develop my identity. I mean, that was crucial in my journey and has benefited me in so many ways. So having friends all over the country, to having people who themselves experience. And when I travel and I show up in some city, there's always several people who come up to me that I recognize from my days as a student at NTID RIT. And they said, wow, I cannot believe you have taken this that far. Because I remember when we were at parties and you'd be in the corner signing and you'd be talking about music, you were always the music man. And to see that validation from then, it means the world to me. So while I wasn't the greatest student, and I mean, really, I graduated with a tri-major, accounting. Why did I graduate with an accounting degree? I mean, Lord only knows. Yeah. No, I don't like numbers. I mean, that's wild in itself. I think that I kept changing my major so much that it got to the point that it was like, what's the fastest way for me to graduate?
Oh, okay.
I had the accounting background, and I had some great teachers through that accounting journey. And one teacher, I remember in class, I'd be like drumming or something on the desk, and he was like, you look like you're a drummer. I'm like, yeah, I'm a drummer. And he was like, okay, if you're a drummer, can you play Wipeout? I was like, really? So instantly I was like, and he was like, dang, man. Yeah, you are a drummer. So I had the accounting background, and then I was taking communications classes. And I really enjoyed the communications classes. Had several amazing professors, including one Dr. Jenkins, who's someone I always talk about. In fact, I think I talked about him around when we did the Super Bowl, because I actually did a presentation on Dr. Dre.
Right, I remember that.
He was the one that was like, we need to talk after class. So I sat down with him after class. He was like, what do you really know about Dr. Dre? And I was like, I just gave a presentation. I was talking about his, other artists he signed, other stuff he did. He said, no. What you know about Andre Young? And I was like, it was a big, eye-opening moment for me. So I was fortunate to have had a professor like him who really opened my mind to the world and to the way of thinking.
Pulling out of
So you have accounting, communications, and then quality management.
Quality management?
Quality management. It's interesting because in my career, I will tell you 100% that all three of those majors have benefited me in some way, whether it's like talking about budgets, talking about, things with, I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. Communications, come on. And then quality management, still a work in progress.
I double majored, theater and PE. So I loved it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I can always do theater, TV, film, then teaching PE, just exercising and stuff. I need to work on my exercising skills again, so nutrition and all that.
Too.
But I enjoyed it so much. I came in Gallaudet and not knowing what I'm going to do, not knowing. All I knew is I just want to curiously learn about the deaf community. That was the priority for me at that time.
So you get 3 educations. You get the deaf community, the music, theater, performance, and then
P.
What was the third one? P.
Yeah.
P.
So about martial arts, baby. So it's I remember one teacher when I was taking my ASL class during the summertime before school starts. I was before the year of my freshman year started. One professor, she said a quote. She said, "If any opportunity comes to you, grab it. You never know where it leads.
True.
It could be a positive thing, could be a negative thing, but the important thing is an experience. You know what to do right after that." She said, grab any opportunity. If the opportunity comes twice, it's a blessing, because most of the time it only comes once. And
it's interesting parallel if you think about the Super Bowl, for example.
So
you gave the national anthem, then the next year you gave a performance.
Right. So, and she also said first impression always makes people remember you regardless if it's positive or negative. Yeah. So they will remember the first impression you made on them. So if it's a negative impression, people know, avoid you at all costs, If it's a positive, they want you back. So you have to create that impression of how you want people to perceive you and be authentic about it too. So when I was at Gallaudet, my freshman year, I took 22 credits. I was crazy. I was hungry because it was the opportunity. I thought I grabbed it, and I was involved with the dance company at that time too. And I was working part-time on campus. So insane, right? 22 credits, and I had the dean to sign off on it. I did that.
I remember 12 being my limit. I'm like, 12, I'm taking the route. I don't want anything to interfere with my social life.
I was a freshman, and I was crazy, but they allowed it. Now they don't do that anymore. If you take that much, what cost you extra stuff. But back then, it's like, I trust you. Okay, let's go do it. And I did it. I did that for a year, and people thought I was crazy, but it was all about time management for me. And time management is good. So it's really important for me to handle that. And I was but I remember that year, I was so exhausted. I remember I slept like crazy. Do you have final exams? Okay, for those who graduate high school, class of 24, you're going to college. Be reasonable with you picking your classes, okay? 12 credits is full-time, good. What I did was insane because there's one time for my finals, I remember I had a paper I had to do, and I was really into it. And I remember there was this was before I was into coffee, okay? They had a.
True, I got into coffee in college.
They had a pill called Vibrant. Back then, Vibrant.
Oh, a pill?
It's a caffeine pill. I remember I took it and I was zoned in on this paper. Everything. And I didn't sleep for almost 72 hours. Almost. Okay? So, and I remember I turned in the paper on Friday. And I went to eat, came back to my room, and I went to sleep. That's all I remember. Okay? I woke up and it was, I thought morning, great. I'm going to get me some breakfast this Saturday. I could just chill, stuff like that. I come in the cafeteria, my roommate, my friends, they was like, what's wrong? You okay? What's wrong? What's going on? I mean, wow, we haven't seen you. Where are you? So, what's wrong? I just finished my last paper. Sleep. He said, Wawa, I'm to breakfast. I said, Wawa, do you realize you missed a day? I'm like, no, I didn't miss a day. Today's Saturday. So, it's Sunday, Wawa. It's Sunday. I went to sleep Friday. Saturday, all day. I don't even remember getting up to go to the bathroom. My roommate saw me right. My roommate saw me, got up, go to the bathroom, came back. That's it. Sunday morning, I woke up. I thought they were teasing me. So they gave me the newspaper, the Sunday newspaper. I saw the day. I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, they said, yeah, you slept. You slept like a crazy mofo. That was insane. Don't you ever do anything like that again. I said, oh, okay, fine. So because Byron, I never touched it again. So don't do it.
No. But I'm excited for all of you who are graduating this year. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you all.
Congratulations. So thank you all for watching. Please share, like, subscribe. We're going to keep doing this every week. I want to give a shout out to the D-Pan team who have been editing, captioning, working on the audio, making us sound and look good. They're doing amazing. I'm really excited about this journey. And, if anybody out there is interested in setting up their own podcast, please, reach out. I would love to figure out workflows and processes because I feel like there's so many people out there who have a lot of great things to share. And the whole point of this podcast is we talk all the time. Last night, we called each other to discuss about what this podcast will be, and we were on the phone for 45 minutes. I mean, it could have been a podcast in itself with both of our wives making guest appearances.
That was fun.
That was fun for sure.
We still need a name.
Yeah, we still need a name. I think the name will come. And it will be natural and organic, like this whole process. I mean, every week, I feel like we, the D-Pan team, just the idea of how this can work just keeps getting better. We're making weekly baby steps.
Then we'll leap. We'll see that happen.
Have a great week. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend and having lots of fun with performing music and honoring.
It's going to be a party. It's going to be a party. I can't wait. Safe flight to DMV. And for you guys, have a great week. Show some love.
Great week.
Yeah.
dpan.tv, the sign language channel.